Hey, what's up YouTube? Gabe here from Team Blur, and today we're going to be talking about all things Splatoon 2, directly from Nintendo's Nintendo Direct. The new Splatoon game is coming soon, and there were a bunch of new features announced that are going to make you even more excited to want to play the game. But before we start, however, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to the channel so that you can always keep up to date with the latest video game content. Let's get right into it! Nintendo started off their broadcast by showing off the main weapons in the game. They have the standard weapons that were in the previous game with the addition of new ones. Then, they showed us some of the sub and special weapons in the game and how equipping the right combination of them can be the difference between a successful victory or a humiliating defeat. Not only can you customize your weapons, you will also be able to customize your squid's appearance in many different ways. There is an open world area where you can buy different clothing, armor, guns, and upgrades for your character. This area serves as a hub to access all the different modes in the game, which is an awesome inclusion in the game. More than just cosmetic changes, you can add upgrades to your clothing that can grant you more abilities and power. Some of the upgrades shown were things like extra damage to non-player characters or move faster on your ink. Moving on to multiplayer options, the main mode from the previous game, Turf War, is back, with 8 different stages that were shown in the video. In this mode, players are split into 2 teams and must cover the stage with ink. Whichever side has the most ink down by the end of the match wins. You can also play Ranked Battle, where it will alternate between 3 different modes. These modes are Tower Control, Splat Zone, and Rainmaker. Tower Control is kind of like Escort from Overwatch, where you have the attacking team control the payload and move it to the other side of the map, while the defending team aims to stop them. Splat Zone is the traditional King of the Hill mode, where your team has to control an area with paint for a longer time than the opposing team. And Rainmaker mode is a mode where you have to pick up a weapon that makes your character slow and carry it to the opponent's side of the map without dying. Each mode has its own ranking system, so you'll be matched up with people close to your level according to which mode you're playing. There's also League Battle, that lets you play with a friend or a group of friends and see how many points you can gain over a certain amount of time. In addition to the modes mentioned, a new mode that wasn't in the previous game is introduced. Salmon Run is a mission-based mode, where you fight non-player enemies and bosses in order to unlock special items that can only be attained in this mode. They didn't specify, but it's probably safe to assume that you can play this mode with friends. Like the previous game, a single-player mode is included. In it, you will get to fight against the Octarians, the main enemy of the squids, in an arcade-like mode. It looks pretty fun, and seems like a good way to get used to all the different mechanics in the game. Moving on to other features, Nintendo also briefly talked about Splatnet 2, an app for your portable device where you can see your stats, win rates, and of course, their amazing voice chat application. Seeing as they didn't go into too much detail, I'm going to assume they haven't improved on their terrible design. The last thing Nintendo talked about was Splatfest. Splatfest is an event where all players can pick between 2 sides and battle it out on Turf Wars to see which side can get more points over the span of the event. You will be able to try Splatfest before the game gets released by downloading their demo and playing it on July 15 from 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. Nintendo promises to give us more gears, weapons, and stages, so assuming they follow through with their statement, this game looks very promising. So, what do you think of the new Splatoon 2? Do you think this is finally going to be the game that puts Nintendo back on the map? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like our content, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. This is Gabe from Team Blur, and I'll see you next time!